Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, February 23rd, and this week you will be looking at chapters 7 and 8 on the chapter material and the quizzes. I do not have a video for chapter 7. Chapter 7 is only about collaboration tools, and this is one of the chapters that is probably going to be taken out or significantly updated in the new text. A lot of the things there were somewhat new, perhaps, when the book came out 5 years ago, but now these are tools that you're all probably very familiar with. So I didn't feel like it was really advantageous for me to make a video for that chapter. But still take time to read over it and consider the tools of collaboration that allow organizations to communicate and share information. Okay, so then that will lead us up to next week being exam 2. That is set to open up 1 week from today, and it opens up on noon a week from today. And then the week after that, your emerging trends presentation. Now let me pull this information up on your emerging trends presentation. For starters, this is a group project, and the emerging trends presentation is one where you will research a topic as your group, and then you'll make a presentation as a group, but you'll record your presentation using some video software. I don't care what software you use to record it. I recommend that you use Camtasia, and there's some links to that I'll share with you. But the Camtasia it's from a company named TechSmith, and Camtasia allows you to record the screen captures. That's what I'm using right now. And there's a lot of tutorials out there. It's really easy to use, and it would allow you to individually record your portion of the presentation and then send it to one person who would then compile it and put everything together so that it was ultimately one single presentation, which is the goal of this project, for you to create one single presentation as a group that looks like you were all in one place recording together, but in reality you're going to record it individually. Okay, so that's a little bit about the technical side of it. Camtasia, you can use a free trial, but there's also other tools. There's some free screen capture recording software out there, and I don't care which one you use, but what I do want is for you to be able to give me an MP4 video file. Okay, so that's my requirement. I don't care what tool you use. If you've already got one and you're familiar with it and you can share it with your team somehow, that's fine. I'm not going to get caught up in that. But the Camtasia, you can download a 2-week trial and you can use that, but ultimately I just want an MP4. So the emerging trends presentation is the week after your exam 2. The reason why there's not a Dropbox deadline is because I have to set up your groups, and I did not do that at the beginning of the semester. A lot of times as we move through a semester, there will be people who will drop out of the program, or groups will change. That hasn't happened as much in the last few years, but early on there was a lot more shifting around of the groups. But I really think we do a better job as a program getting people established in good groups to start with. Anyway, but there's still every once in a while some changes, so I usually wait until just before this project to actually establish the groups and then assign a group Dropbox. So that's why there's not a calendar item for this project. But what qualifies an emerging trend? The technology is always changing. I'm looking for things that are changing the way we do business today. For example, cloud computing and virtualization. And cloud is not an emerging trend because cloud and virtualization have been around both for a long time. But the high-speed internet access and development of all of the mobile devices that we have is really redistributing our computing. So cloud computing today is more than just cloud-based storage, but cloud computing and virtualization is allowing us to carry our small portable mobile devices, tablets, phablets, our phones, whatever they are, and we have access to very powerful computing. So what's emerging is not the technology, but what's emerging is how that technology is changing the way we do business. There's software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. A lot of this overlaps. Some of this is going to overlap some with cloud computing, but you could do a distinct presentation on those topics. Then when you get to big data and data analytics and looking at predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics, actually is a very interesting item to look at. A lot of that also is moving into cloud computing because you can pool resources and have very powerful computers and then offer access to that. Google has something that is called Google Query, a Cloud Query, I think is what they're calling it, Cloud Query. And it's a very powerful system where you can spin up servers and run some powerful data analytics and then drop the servers, and you only pay by the minute with a 10-minute minimum. So there's some really, really neat things going on in big data and data analytics. Of course, then you move into mobile commerce. Mobile commerce is a huge topic right now, especially with the changes in payment systems. Google's coming out with a new wallet. Apple's got the Apple Pay. Then there's the big companies like Walmart and I think CVS and some others. I can't remember. Hang on, it's called Currency. You pronounce it currency, but it's current, and then the letter C is their payment platform that they're trying to push. So with mobile commerce, there's location-based services, location-based advertising. Then, of course, you can actually pay with everything on your mobile device. So mobile commerce is a big area right now. That also mobile also lends over into social commerce, because a lot of times we share things, we find things that we want by seeing what our friends have bought or reading reviews that other people have shared. So look, I understand there's going to be some bleed over on all of these topics. That's okay, but you need to focus on whichever one you pick. And you may come up with your own. I'm okay with that as well. Mobile employees with bring your own device, social media. So what I'm looking for is for you to take some topic or some technology trend and really dig into the impact that it is having on the way we operate as a business, the way we interact with our business partners, or the way we interact with our customers, and put together a really nice presentation. So my expectations for that project, as you start looking down the road to it, you need to let me know what your topic is going to be. Send that to me. There's another document I'll show you where I will list the team topic requests. On this one, I would like to see an outline. And if you can, try to think ahead of what your outline will be, because sometimes people send me the outline on Saturday morning, and they have scheduled to record all their presentations on Saturday afternoon, and I'm tied up and I don't have time to even review it. And then I get the presentation and I'm thinking, wow, I wish I'd had some time. I could have given them some good pointers. So if you will really just kind of scratch down a rough outline. It doesn't have to be anything complete. It doesn't have to be a full outline, just your major topic headings and the general direction that you think you're going to go with it. And just let me take a look at it, just to make sure that you are going what I feel to be a good direction for it. What I'm not looking for is just a review of technology. I'm not looking for just a definition of cloud. That might be part of what you give, but that's not all that I'm looking for. So I would love to see your outlines before you start recording. Okay, so then I've already described some of the rest of this. I'll give you some more details on this as well as we get closer. If you have questions about Camtasia, I'll help you out with that. But basically, you just need to be able to send me your file. If you post it in Dropbox or Dropbox.com, not the Dropbox here in the D2L or Brightspace, but if you post it to Dropbox.com, then send me share a link with me. If you put it in YouTube or something like that, that's fine as well. Just share it with me so that I can have access to the video. Okay, so then I would like to be able to post all of the videos in a discussion area for your comments. And in fact, if you produce an MP4, you can go ahead and upload it to YouTube for me and just share the video with me, and then I can embed that video into the class. Ultimately, at the end of this, you're going to complete a peer evaluation on one another on your team that's going to grade your performance compared to everyone else's. Now, this peer evaluation is an interesting one that somebody in the WebMBA developed. Her name was Dr. Misty Laurity, and I'm not sure if you were going to have her or not, but it's a really interesting evaluation where you evaluate yourself, everyone in the group evaluates you, and then at the end, the output shows how you viewed your work versus how all of your team members viewed your work. So everybody's collective responses, you're not going to see individual responses on you, but you'll see the average of everything else. So it's a good way to get an indicator of your performance versus how other people view your performance. So that's the emerging trends that's coming up. Let me go back to the calendar now. That emerging trends project is going to be due. I think we need to have a discussion posting about this. See, initially, when I just follow my calendar straight down, it would be due on the Monday of spring break, and that may not make a difference to some of you. Some of you might want to have spring break to work on it and have it due the Monday after. Some of you might rather me make it due the Friday before spring break. So I don't know. I don't really have an opinion for it because this spring break is, well, it's my spring break for West Georgia, but it's not my kids' spring break, so we're not going anywhere that week. So I'm sure you all hear the baby. That's my daughter. For those of you that asked about her, she's doing good. The hip doctor released her from her brace, so she's sleeping at night without a brace now, and she's scooting all over the place and starting to crawl and stand up some. So she's doing real good and making a lot of noise this morning. But anyway, that's another reason I haven't set the deadline, is because I wasn't sure if everyone would want it the Friday before spring break or if you would rather it be the Monday after spring break. I personally think if I were you, I would rather finish it before, so that way I could just get away from school for the week of spring break. But I'll start a discussion posting, and we'll just kind of, or maybe I'll set up a poll and we can vote for when you want the deadline to be, and then I'll set it up. So I hope everybody has a good week. Again, you're just working on chapter 7 and 8, but you've got exam 2 coming up, and then this emerging trends presentation. So take some time to be thinking ahead about that project. One last thing. When you're here under step 5, I've got to rename this. I've got a file here that's called step 6A, but this should all be step 5. Sorry about that. This is where you would actually choose your topic and let me know what it is. Right now, nobody has picked anything, so if you send me a topic, what I do is I go in order that I receive them in my inbox. So the time that it hits my inbox is always labeled. So whoever asks for something first, it's all first come, first serve on the topic. So what I ask you to do is send me your top 3 topics, and I will assign them based on first come, first serve. So hope everybody has a good week, and if you will, give me till tonight to finish grading your Netflix papers, and I'll get your grades back to you by tonight. Okay? That's Hallie telling everybody to have a good day. Y'all have a good week. Sorry for the long video this time, and I look forward to finishing up your Netflix papers and getting moving forward in the class.